Okay, guys, let's start. Today, yesterday we covered about the complicated this keyword, which has many cases. The general guideline is take a look at how your function is being called. If it's being called, use something dot that method, then it always refer to that object before the dot. Otherwise, generally it's gonna become window, okay? And you can use the apply bind call to change this keyword to be something else. And another one which is inside the arrow function. Arrow function don't have its own this keyword. It's always use the surrounding environment, which means even though you use apply call bind to change this keyword in the arrow function, it doesn't work because it doesn't have its own this keyword. Today, we are going to cover the prototype inheritance in JavaScript. You will see it has a huge difference difference between the JavaScript inheritance and the Java's inheritance. You will see. And for today, we are going to finish the. We have to stop at 11:45 in the morning because we will have to do group checking. And it has two times. One is 11:45, one is 12:10. I choose 11:45. I don't want to go to lunch late. Okay. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long queue and kind of like a wasting time there. Okay. So we will stop at 11:45, and if we cannot finish, we will use some time in the afternoon. Okay. And if in the afternoon, I'd like to go over the quizzes we have done so far, because tomorrow's lecture is not in the exam, okay, only till today. Then we have Friday off, okay. I'm off, you guys are not, okay. Study by yourself. Otherwise, probably see you next time. Same course. Okay, kidding. Then let's take a look at today's lecture. Very interesting. Okay. Here we are going to cover prototype inheritance and more than object.create. First, we'll cover object.create. Prototype inheritance allows object to inherit properties from a prototype parent object. Prototype. The main purpose of inheritance is to promote code reuse and avoid duplication, especially for the methods, because normally we share the methods, we don't share about the state, okay? Reuse of code for common tasks is efficient and avoids errors that can arise from inconsistent updates of duplicate code. Natural law takes the path of the least action, do less and accomplish more, okay? Programmers cannot directly access a special prototype property. This property is used for inheritance in JavaScript. We'll see in a minute. All functions have regular prototype property. They are different, okay? We'll talk about it more later, okay? When they are called as a constructor with new, the property will be set as a value of prototype. The prototype can also be set with this one. 2_proto, 2_property. This one is deprecated. Don't use it. We will use other ways too. But it's now deprecated in favor of object.create. JavaScript prototype is like an archetype, which is an original object is a basis of other object. So JavaScript prototype is based on the object. It is not based on the template like class. And you can easily change the parent, we will see. Deeper level of thoughts are connected to archetypal patterns of intelligence or laws of nature. Prototype inheritance. When we program, we often want to take something and extend on it. We do not want to duplicate, okay, the same thing, okay. Suppose now we have a user object, and the user object have some properties, have some methods. And later on, we have another object called admin, and we also have a guest. And admin also have properties, have method, but some of them are different. Probably have a role, which is admin, okay, or have a slight variants of it. And we also have a guest. Then we can do is we can reuse the user, okay, and don't copy everything which already implement in the user and the properties. That's generally we do. Same as Java, right? Okay, inheritance, okay. And the inheritance is a language feature help that, and prototype inheritance is a language JavaScript language feature to help that. Okay, now let's take a look at how it did. Inside the JavaScript, every object have a special hidden property called a prototype, and this property you cannot directly access it. Okay, you cannot say something dot property prototype. Prototype to set it. Okay, I will show you. We cannot. You're gonna have a syntax error because it's used internally, but we can see it, but you cannot directly use it. Either none. None it means what thing? I'm the top parent. Okay, object prototype OSC. Or you reference to other object. If you reference to another object, that's gonna become your parent. And object is called a prototype. Any object become a parent, we call it a prototype. When we read the property from object and it's missing, what's going to happen? JavaScript will automatically take it from the prototype, which is a parent. That is called the prototype inheritance. And this property is internal and hidden. And there are many ways to set it. The first way is you can use this one, proto. But this one is deprecated. We don't use it, but we can do, okay? So first, let me show you an example. Let me create using the HTML file. Proto demo.html. I suggest, okay, every code I wrote here, you wrote by yourself again, at least once. Okay. Better is write all of them until I point one, you can directly say what's inside, okay, and write on the whiteboard. The first one I will show you is the Chrome. What's the thing? Let's suppose we have an animal, okay? Animal have eats is true, okay? And sorry, my bad. And then here I have a rabbit. And the rabbit, it has its own called the jump, okay? And what's gonna happen? So far, animal and rabbit, they don't have any relationship. But we consider animal is an animal, rabbit is an animal, right? So we have to set the parent. Suppose now we want to set the parent, which animal is the parent of rabbit. In Java, we cannot do it. Because Java, you have to have a template with class, right? Then when we create an object, we base on a class to create. JavaScript is not. JavaScript, you can change your parent on the way. And when we do like this way, we are setting the parent of rabbit equal to animal, okay? And how can we prove? We can do is before I set, okay? Oh, before I set, rabbit don't have eats, right? And obviously the parent of rabbit, which is object, also don't have eats, okay? So we will get undefined, right? Okay, undefined, right? Now I set it, okay? And I will do again. The reason just now I uncomment is because sometimes the browser will combine this one with this one. So we may, okay, second one, okay, true. So then how can we get this eats is because in the rabbit, we don't have eats, okay? Then I will find from my parent. The parent is animal. You will have eats, okay? So far, we just get a little bit explanation. Then later on, we will draw the diagram, okay? And for this proto is not good to use, okay? Because it's deprecated. And the better way is we were using a method called object.create. Object, this is the class, which is called a function constructor. We will see in later, provided by JavaScript. And it has a method called create, okay? And Proto is considered outdated. It has like a historical reason, which is it's still there to be used, but it's not. Don't suggest to use. Okay. And we will use object.create, and you give your parent here, then it will set a prototype with that Indian construct function. We will see about the construct function later, okay? It's gonna create an empty object and given the proto as a prototype, okay? And the object should be used inside of this one. So now, let me explain all the things from scratch to you guys, okay? So what's gonna happen is object create. At the beginning, I will show you because the node in Node the printout is a little bit different from the browser. Browser we can see more details, but a Node doesn't show us lots of details. Okay, I can do like this way. Wait a minute for a second. Okay. Objects, inheritance, HTML, and here I do a script link to a SRC. Okay, SRC, and I'll give something and a type which is a text JavaScript. Then I just create a JS file. Okay, then I'll create object create.js file. And here I just link to each different JS file. Okay. Then when you demo, you can run from Node. You can also use the browser to execute it. So now, how to do it? We still have let's using const animal, and which is going to have eats. Okay, true. Oh, my bad. In order to use object create, first thing is object.create. Okay, this is built-in API, and here you give the parent what you want. Okay, you give a parent, and then the returned value gonna become what? Become the new object. Okay, const rabbit. Okay, so after this line, what's gonna happen? This line going to do what? This line, let me draw a diagram to show you. Okay. We will draw lots of diagram today, and it's going to be your exam question too. It's easier than normally when we remember images. It's better. It's faster than remember the thing. This line going to do is what thing? First, object create. It will give us an empty object to you. Okay. It's gonna be empty object. And when we put an animal here, okay, when we put an animal, it just do one thing, which is make prototype point to the animal. Okay. So eventually our rabbit will just have an empty object, but its parent point to animal. So now let me draw from scratch one by one, okay, to you guys. And in the diagram, when I represent an object, I'm going to do some using kind of table structure. So when I have a const animal is equals true, right? We are going to have this thing. This is called animal. Okay. And it will have a property called eats. The value is true. So what's the parent of animal? And all the inheritance, okay, in JavaScript, it have using a special property. The property name is called the prototype. This is a special hidden property used in JavaScript linked to the parent. Understand me? Okay, and here I just show you now. Okay, the parent for animal for all the objects is actually called something called object dot prototype. And we will explain this one after we talk about the construct function. Okay, so far you don't need to understand. And these things prototype, guess what it is? exactly gonna be none, which is the top level, no more, okay? If I cannot find a property here, then it's gonna return undefined, or if you call it, it's gonna return undefined is not a function, okay? And then this is all the first line. When we create an animal, what's gonna happen? Okay, which is you have it's true. You have the parent of this one is object.prototype. Okay, and object prototype is none. Now, when we do this line, what's gonna do? It will have an object. The object, because we are already assigned to the rabbit, right? So here we're gonna have a rabbit. And do I have any property here? Nothing. The only thing you have is what's the prototype, and which will point to animal. And because here I give animal, if you give something else, it's gonna be that thing. Okay. And now next line I'm doing. First I will show you. So first we console log rabbit, and let's take a look at in the browser. Okay. Can I see here? When I console log this rabbit, you will have it's object, right? But do I have any of a property? I don't have, and you only have what's thing prototype. And let's take a look at prototype. What's thing? It's true, okay. And this is a prototype which is parent of the animal, okay, because animal have it's true, right? Okay, and this one, don't get confused about this one. This one is referred for a type of it, okay. That means this one is a type of this object is an object, and this type of this part is also object, okay. And you have own properties and other things. Let me see. Can you see here? When I use object prototype, you have has own property is prototype of the thing to local string. Can you see here? The parent has own property is prototype of. So we get actually what's the thing? The parent of this one is object prototype. Understand me? If you don't know what I'm talking about, yes, I want to show you. I want to show you this line. The parent of animal is object.prototype, not object. Java is object. Okay, here is object prototype. Another way we can demo is like this way. Animal, because you cannot directly access prototype. You understand me? You cannot directly access prototype. It's hidden. When we do like this way, you're gonna have a syntax error. Even though people will say, okay, because we cannot use the dot, how about we using this way, right? How about you cannot access it. You cannot access it because it's hidden, okay? It will display here. It will display here, but there's no way you can access. The only way you can do is using the, using the deprecated way. Okay, this one means the parent of animal, right? Prototype. Can I say it's true? And it proves the parent of animal is object of prototype, and it's not object. Okay, this one. If you don't, we will talk about this part in the future. Okay, today. And now, second one. So now we have a rabbit to parent the animal. Suppose I do another line, which rabbit dot jump equal true. Then what's going to happen in our diagram? Add another line here. This one? Yeah, we just add a jump property true here. Got me? So later on, suppose here I use console.log rabbit.jump. What's gonna happen? First, we'll take, do I have rabbit? Yes. Do I have jump? Yes. What's the value? True. Then you're gonna true. And now, suppose I have console.log rabbit.eats. Okay. So rabbit, yes, I have rabbit. Do I have eats? No. So I'll take a look at my parent. And do I have eats? Yes, I'll give true. Then if I have a rabbit dot first name, okay. Okay, now I go rabbit. Do I have first name? No. I go to my parent animal. Animal, do I have first name? No. I will go to my then it will go to animal's parent. Go to object prototype. Definitely this one don't have a first name, right? Then I'll take a look at your parent. It's none, which means I reach the end. Then I will see undefined. Okay. Any question on this one? Okay. Did you see the flexibility of prototype inheritance by using this example? Suppose later on, I don't want my parent or rabbit is animal. You can easily change. You got me? Suppose I don't want a rabbit to be, I don't want, let me change this one to be let. I don't want my rabbit's parent to be animal. Unfortunately, if you use create, you can do like this way, okay? To be something else. Suppose X is 1, Y is 2. Then you change your parent to be another thing, okay? But normally don't do that. Not good. Okay? We'll have other ways to do, okay? This one, let's take a look at it again. If we look for a property in rabbit, if it's missing, JavaScript or automatically from animal, and like this example, we already said, okay. Like suppose this link, this asterisk, it means this line, okay. It will make our rabbit's parent is animal, okay. And the console log will try to read the property, which is here. I try to read the property. And if it's not in rabbit, I will follow my prototype chain to go to my parent. It's gonna give a true for us. Okay. Inherit method. Suppose I have a method, we still can inherit a method. What it's gonna do is suppose here, what's the method here? Okay. Suppose here I have a work. Okay. Then I give function, which is a method. Okay. Console.log. I will say animal or work. Exactly same as Java's. And here and the rabbit, you can do work, right? You can do work, right? Because when I have this line, that means here in the animal, I have another method. I'll just write it here, okay? Have another method called a work. It's a function, right? And when I call rabbit.work, I don't have, then I go to my parent one. Exact same as Java's. You have animal work here, okay? Prototype chain. This one, take a look at, okay? I will have, let me have this piece of code wrote by, okay? I will have these three copied, okay? And then I will have a prototype chain .js. And here, this is the same as before. Then I can have a let long year, okay, equals object dot create. Create, I give rabbit, okay. And then I have a long year dot year length. Let's say 10, okay? Okay, if we do that, what's gonna become our diagram? Simple, right? Let's draw again, okay? So here we have a prototype chain now. Okay, take a look at. At the beginning, we still will create a diagram for this one, okay? What's gonna happen is here we will have a animal object, okay? Each of these things represent an object, okay? So here we will have one property and one method, which is called is true. And here we will have a work is a function, and we'll have prototype P is capital, okay? Prototype. And this one will point to our parent, which is the parent for all the objects actually, okay? And here we'll have object. O is capital, which is a class actually, or function constructor, prototype. And this prototype we will see in a minute. Actually, all of them are lowercase. Okay, it do have other methods here. I just don't has my own prototype. And this one is not. That is the first line doing, right? And when we do this line, okay, it's going to create an empty object, okay? Rabbit. And only make our prototype to be the animal, okay? And then what we do next line is a rabbit.jump. We just add a jump equals true here, okay? And then we do this line, same thing, because this one is using rabbit, right? So my parent is going to be rabbit. So I will make a long ear, okay? Long ear. Then at the beginning, we'll have no property, right? Only have a prototype, which is a rabbit, okay? And then we will have a ear length, which is a 10, that's it. Suppose later on now, I have a long ear dot work. Can I see any more work on the console? Yes, because I go to long ear. Do I have work this method? I don't know. Then I have a rabbit. Rabbit I don't have, right? Then go to rabbit parent. I go to animal. I have this one. So that is a prototype chain. Okay. This one we will talk about it later. Okay. Because we have to cover from beginning. Okay.
Professor, the prototype stores the reference to the parent, or how does it? How is the reference stored in the prototype, or
how is this one being stored?
Yeah.
You can just a property.
That has a reference to the parent that carries the reference?
Yes, because what's gonna happen is what all the object gonna be stored in the heap and have address, right? And what's gonna happen is that property I just make the suppose this one parent, and suppose this address is like 872, okay? Then here just have like an address there, and when you find it, work through the address to find that object, or through the address to link. Oh, I have a question to you guys. Okay, take a look at. Be careful. What's going to be? Is going to be different? Is the diagram going to be different? So we don't need to take a. I just do like this way. What's gonna be the value in the console? If it's true, that means false. Yeah. Did I have this saved, right? Oh, I didn't link, guys. I didn't link. Okay. If it's true, that means you still need to get a little bit practice on where equal sign. Okay, what does equal sign means? Undefined. See here, guys, when I do this one, I use equal sign, right? Equal sign means what? I reassign everything here to here, right? So the old one, it's not there anymore. Okay, so be careful. Do you understand equal sign? The equal sign means I completely change it, right? So you had one. What's going to happen here? Let's draw again. Okay. You have to be understand. Okay, this is a very basic things, and if you don't understand, just write a little bit more demos practice. Okay. Okay, and the animal. And here we will have a thing. This one is is true, okay? And I have work and have a function, right? And this one is a prototype. And here point is somewhere, okay? I don't draw it, okay? And then we're going to do this line. This line going to be what's that? Oh, I have to do this one. Okay, I have to do this one. Object dot prototype. Okay. And here we'll have a prototype. Okay, you understand me? This one is not right. Okay. Then when I do this line, okay, rabbit, this one, it's going to have what? It's going to, my bad. It's going to have a rabbit. It's going to have a rabbit. Okay, and have a jump equals true, right? And then we're going to have what's then? We're going to have a prototype. This one going to where? This one, okay? Okay. Then I do this line. This line, first I have to create this object, right? This object gonna be created, and which has what's that? Which only has what's that? Which only have a prototype, no other properties. And this prototype point to here, right? And when we do equal sign, it means what? A sign, and this one is a last, and this one is a rabbit, right? Eventually, this object gonna be go to garbage collector. Okay, so you do not have jump because you here you use the equal sign. Be careful. Read the code. Okay. Any more question?
Assigning for the same object, the previous object.
Which object?
Before creating the last one, before the assignment of the last line.
This line?
Without, no, line number 9.
Uh-huh.
Without that one, if we want to assign the parent as animal for the rabbit.
Oh, the only way you can do is using this one. Is using this one. Animal. The only way is this one.
Use the create.
No, correct, because correct will return another object to you, and you have to assign it because you have no way. The only way is using this way. Okay, but normally you won't have this kind. But this is not a good way. But that's the only way you can do. Okay, it's normally probably you want to have this just a create object first. Okay. Okay, this is one. Now let's continue. On property, do not use prototype chain. This one I'm talking about. Suppose I will just continue, okay? Continue on this code. Okay, take a look at it here. Suppose I do like this way, long year dot work. I have a function which is console dot log long year work. So now I call long year dot work. Work. Okay. So which one gonna be used? Is using this one or use this one? They are this one, right? Because if you have your own, I don't use a parent. But if I don't have my own, then I will use my parent. Very same as Java's. Okay, kind of like a function overriding. Okay, that is this one talking about. The value of this keyword. Let's give an example here. Okay, we have example. Okay, so what's the value of this keyword in the inherited method? Answer is it's not affected by a prototype. It will always refer to the object before the dot. Okay. Now let's take a look at example. Okay. Work function. Speak. Keyword.js. Okay. And let me make this one to be and then this keyword, which is okay. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. I will have a const animal equals an object, and it has two methods, right? Working and sleeping. Okay, two method work is a function, and here in the function I have if condition. If is not sleeping. Okay, I had this one. Okay, then I will have a console.log work. Okay, called let me call animal work. Animal work. Okay. And we do have another method called sleep. Okay, and the sleep will change the property here. Okay, function. And we will do a thing. This dot is sleeping equals true. Okay, got me? Okay, now ask you guys a question. Okay. If I do like this way, what's gonna happen in the console? Nothing? What carefully? Oh, my bad. Good. I have animal just call work. Okay. So we call work. We can call this function, right? So this sleeping. Oh, do I have this is sleeping in my animal? No. What's the value? Undefined. Undefined. Not undefined. True. True. Animal work. True. False. See here. Okay, now let's add a See here, right? The reason is because what? In animal, I only have two methods, right? Work and is sleeping. Do I have a work and sleep method? Do I have is sleeping property? No. If not, that means this one is undefined. See here. Oh, first, this keyword is represent what? Animal, right? Because I call work on the animal. So this keyword in the work method always refer to the animal. And here I don't have it sleeping. Then we're gonna get, don't forget the undefined, okay? Because Java will give non-point exception, but JavaScript, no, okay? It's undefined. You'll get undefined, right? Undefined is false. Not false gonna become true. You got it? Okay. So one more time, guys. Continue. You have question? Okay, just figure it out. Okay. What's the object dot create animal? Okay. What's going to happen in the console? Animal work. Okay. Animal work. Okay. And nothing, right? And now let's draw a diagram for that. Oh, ask a question. If I console log rabbit, what kind of properties, what kind of method in rabbit? Rabbit has a work and a sleep. If I print a rabbit and what I mean, suppose now I draw the rabbit, okay? I draw a rabbit here, okay? What kind of properties, what kind of methods for this rabbit I have? prototype to be animal. Anything else? No. If no, how can I get a sleeping? No. You have, see here, is sleeping true, prototype is animal. Okay, so let's take a look at. Because this will refer to what? This will always refer to the object you call, okay? Now let's look at it carefully if you don't understand or you get it wrong. Okay. So let's draw it. We will have an what's thing? Animal, okay? We'll come back to this keyword, okay? Let me put it here. We'll have a function work, which is function, right? This one. Sleep is also a function. And we do have another one called the prototype. Yeah, my bad. Prototype. And this one will point to object.prototype. Object.prototype. Okay, we will go over this one later. Okay, don't worry. We will go there. Okay. This one, the P is bigger. It means a capital. Okay. That's it, right? Then we create this one. Okay. When we do this one, right? See here. Well, this one is also simple so far. We'll have a rabbit. And this rabbit is going to only have a prototype because it's an empty object. Okay. That's the object create do and point to the animal, right? Now, the problem is this one. When we call rabbit.sleep, my rabbit, I don't have a sleep method, right? I'll find my parent, I do have a sleep. So sleep is doing this line, right? When doing this line, the problem is what is this keyword refer to, right? Right? So how did I call sleep? Rabbit. So this keyword gonna refer as a rabbit. Got me? So let's demo here, okay? And see here, it's empty object. If it's animal should have work and sleep, right? But when we do like this way, it's gonna become empty object. Why is empty? Because rabbit by default is rabbit. What's the thing? Rabbit is empty, right? It only has the prototype. See here. When we do, see here, I have prototype, right? Prototype is what? Sleep and work, which is animal. You got me? And the reason why here, so this is this when we call sleep is a rabbit. Then this one is like a rabbit dot is sleeping is true. Then you're gonna do what? It's gonna add a sleeping equals true here, because this is referred as a rabbit. When we do rabbit dot is sleeping equal true, it add a sleeping property in rabbit, right? Understand me? Okay, so it's sleeping is added here. Then we do rabbit dot work. Okay, rabbit dot work. Rabbit, do I have work? No. So I will go to my parent, right? Parent have work. So it's gonna execute this function, right? Execute this function. Now I have to figure out this keyword. This is what? Take a look at it. Who are you calling the method? You are calling rabbit. So this keyword will refer as rabbit. Rabbit dot is sleeping. Rabbit, do I have sleeping? Yes, true. True, not a true, false. That's why I don't see any more work. Got it? So this keyword is not referred to the animal. Best is not always referred to animal. You have to take a look at the code. Suppose it's a child. Always take a look at how you call the method. I call on the rabbit. This keyword is gonna be rabbit. If I call on using long ear, it's gonna be long ear. Okay. Any more question on this one?
Wasn't there? Would it change the animals?
That's a great question, and the answer I already gave you yesterday. If I do like this way, what's gonna happen? I said that this keyword in JavaScript is not optional. Okay, if I do like this way, what's gonna happen? This one is something called implied global. Do you remember? Yeah, okay. Not optional, okay. And if we directly ask a question, okay, since we are here, ask a question, okay.
If this is the way this sleeping will be totally related to
Yeah. Okay, first, I'll go back to you, okay. If I do like this way, what's gonna happen in the console? Yeah, here we're looking for a variable called is sleeping, but I don't have one because I didn't call this one first. Okay, you're gonna have undefined. What's the is not defined. Did I have is sleeping somewhere? No. Okay. Do you get me? Because this one is looking for a variable. Okay, called is global one. We don't have. You're gonna have. Okay. So this keyword is not optional. Okay. And if you're gonna have this keyword, it's looking for a variable called is sleeping. Okay. Now you guys remember. Okay. Good luck. Okay. So any more any other questions you gotta have? If not, we go into another one called the for in loop. I will review the loops for you guys first. Loops, yes, okay. I just change it here. You do by yourself, okay? Yes, okay. So, suppose I first I'll do array, okay? 10, 20, 30, 50, okay. So, if we do a loop on array, the first way you can use like this one, right? Less than ar.length, because I forgot to explain one loop to you guys. So let's do all from here. Okay, right. This is one, right? There's another array has a for each method. Do you remember? Which is gonna be value index array. Okay, which is gonna be each value index array. This one or ARAY. I cannot use AR, it's gonna use this one. Okay. So here, I will just say console.log. A value gonna become this value, like this one, AR1. Index gonna be index, okay. Index, and the array here gonna be entire array. Explain here. Okay. And the last one is it do have something called the for letter I of AR. And this one only for only used for iterables. And iterables you only see two in here. One is called array, the other one is called a string. Okay, and this I will represent each element. Okay, let me show you here. You will see like 10, 20, 30, 50, right? Okay, all others is this one. Okay, you got me? And let me show you another one for later character of, suppose I do hello and console.log C, okay. HELO, that is for of only for iterables, array and string, okay. And you can write your own iterables, and how to do is you have to use another thing called a symbol, and you have to implement the iterator method, which is you can do by yourself, okay. If you want to know how to do it, I have videos, I'll show you, okay. But I don't want to introduce now. Okay. Only two you can use for of. And here we are using object, right? objective have another one called the in. In actually is a property. In actually is an operator. You already see another operator before called a type of something, which is operator. In is also operator. Let me demo to you this in. Okay. Suppose here I have let animal. Okay. Let's point point equals x=1. Okay. Okay, then I can say x in point. Okay. Oh, how can I use the in operator? Sorry. Okay. In operator. I've got. Oh, I have to use this one. Okay. X in point. Oh, see here. Because when I do x like this way, he will refer as a variable. Okay. And actually, I want to have a property, right? Which is this one. This is a property. Okay. X is in point. It will give you true. If I give, do I have y property in point? In point, you will get a false. Okay. And if I use point dot y equals 10, then I use y in point, you get a true. Got me? So in is to check if a property is inside the object. Okay. So here, that's why here you can use in. Let me show you. Okay.
It's like in string.
You can think as a map. Do I have the key? In the map, I have key value pair, right? It's kind of like a map has key. Okay. Because includes is compare with string. I don't think it's I think a map is more suitable. Okay. Here, let's have animal. Okay, let animal. Okay, equals. Suppose we have a jump. Sorry, not just jump. Eats. True, and I have another one. Let's call the work. Okay. Don't treat the function here different. Okay. So we might think this is a property, this is a function, right? But when we do loop for let property in, okay, animal, okay, then we can do console.log prop. Okay, first take a look at it here. Okay, I will comment all of others. You can uncomment that do by yourself. Node loops. Okay, you have eats and work. So because eats, work, both are properties to animal, even though work is a function, we don't care about a function or not, okay? Then you can do what? Suppose I want to get the value. Here, give me property, right? I want to get the value of each property. How can I do? What's the I want to get a true, meanwhile, here we'll print eats and work, right? I want to print this one and this one to me. How can I write the code here? You cannot use what? You cannot use this one, okay? I explained many times already. This one, we are looking for a property named prop in animal. But we are using variable refer to different property, okay? So you have to using bracket. Do you remember? So here, you will get true and a function. If I use this one, it's looking for animal has a property named prop. You will get undefined. We don't have. Okay. So this one, okay, you will get used to in this case. Make sure you understand difference between this one and this one. Okay. This one, this bracket is more powerful. Okay. More powerful because you can refer to the variable. But for this one, it only the property name is called prop. Okay. I put it here. Yes.
Assuming line 18, it's null.
No.
Yeah. Here at line 25 console.log, would it still
There's no difference, just none. Just none. Now in JavaScript, it means the variable is already declared and assigned to the value none. Okay. Now you can treat none as a special value inside the JavaScript. Okay. It's a value. Okay. Let me see the slide. Okay. Oh, let's finish this one. We'll take a break. Okay. So here, object has own property. This one I'm talking about like this way. Okay. I will copy 2 lines. Okay. I will copy. Let me first create a object. Let's just do has own property .js. Sometimes you may use it, sometimes you may not use it. So it depends. Okay. So here, guys, take a look at it here. This I don't want to write again. You understand what I'm doing, right? Just to have animal parent, rabbit parent is animal, and rabbit has jump. Okay. So here, let's use for let property in rabbit. See what's going to print it. Okay. PROP. Okay. Let's practice one more time. Rabbit PROP. Hey, ask a question. Will this work? This one gonna give us undefined. Okay, because when we do like this way, it's looking for a property called the PROP in rabbit. Okay. Yes, exactly. Okay. Don't add a quote. Okay. Add a quote, it means the property itself. Okay. Hey guys, take a look at here. Hey, what do I have? The wrap, when I use a for in, I'm gonna have what? Let me remove it. Okay. It's not clear. Okay. Okay. Oh. I'm running the loops. I'm thinking why it should be 2 lines. It should be has own property. Okay. You are see what's thing? Jump true, if true, work function, which means when we use for in, right, it will also print all the properties you inherit from a parent. You got me? When we use for in, this are from a parent, right? Sometimes if you have a scenario you don't want to print your parent one, you only want to print your own, then you can have a condition here. Rabbit if yes rabbit dot has own property. Okay, PROP. If it has own, then we console log. Then in this case, it will only print your own. Okay, it won't print your parent one. Okay, depends on what we want to do. Okay, so this method is inside here, called has own property. Okay, and this is a function. Okay, so because my rabbit I don't have has own property, right? Where to find? Go to animal don't have, go to parent. Parent, this one has own property, which is listed here as own property.
So it doesn't display the properties of object.prototype.
Because I didn't do anything for the parent one.
No,
if I for in,
don't have the if condition.
Yeah, it will list the parent one.
The rabbit has the parent of object.prototype, right?
Because here, rabbit's parent is an animal, and the for loop doesn't relate to you change the inheritance.
Yeah, but the animal's parent is object.prototype.
Oh, it doesn't list because here when we do for in, we only care about the code we wrote. We don't care because it's gonna be too much. Okay. That's a good one because what the Nada's question is animal, because when we print rabbit, it will print animal, right? Animal's parent is object prototype. It also has other, right? And it's done printed because that's a built-in ones. We don't print it. We only care about the code we wrote. Okay. Very good. And we finished the first part, which is object literal, the inheritance. Okay. Let me finish this line. Okay. Prototype inheritance allow object to inherit properties from a prototype parent object. It's an object. The main purpose of inheritance promote code reuse and avoid duplication. Reuse of code from common task is efficient and avoids errors that arise from inconsistent updates of duplicated code, especially important. Because if you have duplicate code, every time you change one part, you have to find all the duplicates and change it. Okay, I do like my previous company. When I said they do like that, copy paste in all the pages. Natural roles take the path of least action to access and accomplish more. Programmers cannot directly access the prototype property. We can see it, but you cannot use it. Okay, you have to using object prototype. Okay, for object.create. Sorry, all functions. This one. We will skip for now because after break we'll talk about the functions. This part. Okay. So let's take a 10 minutes break and we'll come back for more. We probably can finish here. We only have 8 slides left. Probably can finish in. Oh, you only have 35 minutes. Yes, tell me. Được, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Is there a CI question?
I'm lazy to make questions. Did you fly there or drive there?
No,
Drive there?
I don't have a license.
So
Um,
you ask someone driving? Okay. There's a flight in well, Burlington, a very small flight. It also cheap, but you have to be very early around like they will only one trip, one day, once like a 6:30 or 6:50 a.m. in the morning. There's once when I came back from Chicago, right? Only me on that plane. Then and two pilots and only me. I say I should wear a long dress and have a champagne. You know, I was not prepared.
it's like
Yeah. When I check in, I said only you in the flight. And that's another time is they canceled the flight. They canceled, and then that's when I have flight in Chicago in the afternoon, go back to China, right? And they canceled. We get it on the flight, then they ask us off. Then say it's been canceled. Okay, you can leave. Dude, there's no service for us at all. I was so scared. So, it was a other day we had like an adventure. We rent a what's in the trunk, a big trunk, the trunk. We
it's in the trailer.
no.
Drop.
Please don't. I never drove this one before. I drove 5 hours to Chicago. Oh my God. And also we don't have GPS. So we go to McDonald's and because I don't have the what's the name data on the phone at that time. We go to McDonald's to download the map just to have a route ready. Then we on the way, and then we found that there's no gas because when we rent a car, the guy say, okay, do you want to buy the gas in the car, right? Because it can be drive to Chicago. When you drive halfway, the gas is almost empty. So, oh my God, that's scary. Okay, but eventually I made it. But my friend, which missed the date, but they changed the flight for her free to move to another day. Oh. Anyway, that flight is not trustable. Okay, let's continue. We have to continue. So the next one, which is gonna be used for most of the time, or when we build a large application. Nowadays we want to use that much because we have class tomorrow. Okay, it's called a construct function. Helpful when we need to create many similar objects. Like we want to build a system to manage our students. We have so many students, right? It doesn't make sense we use object literal to create one by one because different students have a different name, first name, last name, age. And with object literal, you cannot share those. You cannot reuse the first name, last name. Okay, so we will use another way, which is before year 6, called a construct function. They are also used in splash prototype relations and underlying JavaScript classes. Okay, we will see class tomorrow, which is syntactic sugar. Construct of functions and operator new. When we use object literal syntax, usually we use to create a single object. Okay. We will see when to use after midterm exam. But most often, we want to create many similar objects, like multiple users, menu items, and so on. And we will use something called a constructor function. Okay, and the new keyword. First, construct functions are regular functions, but we use it in based on two conventions. First one, construct function always started with the name, always started with a capital letter. It's like when we define class in Java, when define class user person, we always use capital. It's the first letter, okay? Second one, we execute use new operator. Now, let me show you example. Constructor function.js, okay? And there's no need to use this one, but if we need, we'll change it, okay? Function user, okay?
Using capital first letter, is it a convention?
Convention.
But the new keyword is must.
Yes, okay. So convention, okay. Then I will do this dot first name. Yeah, let's put it as first name here. Last name. This keyword is not optional, okay? But I will show you what it's gonna be. Okay. So how to, if we want this class to be a constructor, if we want this function to be construct function, okay, make this one to be capital. If you use the lowercase, it's also fine, okay, just not good. Okay. And then how to call this function? Suppose I call John equals new user. You give first name John, last name, let's use Smith. Okay. And then we will first console log John first. Okay. Okay. Console log John. Let me use the browser because the thing we have in Node, you want to see the prototype.
It should be the first name.
Ah?
Trying to print the first name.
No, I'm trying to print the John. I'm trying to print this one. Okay. You will see user, first name John, last name, and you will see a prototype, right? We will go over this part later, okay? But basically, I have an object which has first name and last name, okay? Oh, this one is the construct function may be converted to a class declaration. This is because the construct function is the older way. We do have a class, and this is what's the thing? The Visual Studio Code give you some. You may use the class instead of construct function. Okay, but when we explain, we need to introduce this one. Okay, you just ignore it. Okay. Because normally when we define a function, we use all the first letter is lowercase, right? But here I use a capital case, and then the Visual Studio Code detect. You probably want to use this one as a constructor function, and he suggests to use the class instead of construct function. Okay. This one we explain later. Okay, what's gonna happen? Details. Okay, I will ask you a question. This one. You. If I do like this way, first I tell you no error, okay? Because it's a function, okay? So then what's going to happen if I do like this? Okay, so when I call the function, it will execute this two line, right? What's going to happen?
First values of John and Smith. First name and last name.
To where? I will pass John to here. I'll pass Smith to here. That means John here, Smith here. So what does this statement do? Yesterday.
Create correct with name, first name and last name.
Where create a global?
Will be under.
No, because this is referring to the window.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna have a first name, last name added in the window. I run it, right? First name John, last name Smith. Because when we do like this, how I call this function? User on the where? On the window. So this keyword is referred as window. So it's gonna be window 的 first name 一个这样 window 的 last name 一个这样 okay. But if we don't, you can call like this way, but when we make it to be construct, normally we call use new, okay? Call new. Now let's take a look at how this one happened, why it has a first name created an object. Okay, let's take a look at the next slide. So when we call new user, what actually happening? Okay, first, an empty object is created and assigned to this keyword, which means this line gonna be due. So when we call new user, it will execute this function, right? The function, the first element, they're gonna do what? I will make an empty object, then assign to this keyword. Understand me? Otherwise, what's the value of this keyword? No, it won't be. When you call new, it won't, okay? So it will do this one, okay? Then the function body executed, which is the entire thing executed, okay? Then the value of this is being returned. We will return this. Otherwise, see here, in this function, do I have any return statement? No. So why John? I got the value of John, right? And we got the value of John is actually like this one, right? First name is John. Last name is Smith, right? And why have? Because implicitly here have a return this keyword, okay? And implicitly here JavaScript, when you use new, he will do like this step. You got me? This equals empty object. Then I do this line, right? After I do this line, you're gonna have what's thing? First name equals John, okay? Then I do this line. After do this line, you're gonna have what? First name equals John and the last name equals Smith, right? You're gonna have this one. And I return this. This is this part, right? That's why your John is equals to this one. You understand me? Got it. That's the two things which JavaScript did internally. When you call a function, use new keyword. Any more question you have on this part? If no question, I have a question for you, okay? Exactly, okay. When we don't use this, okay, you will still have user, which is this user John Smith, okay? This age is not added on this object because I didn't use this. We said that this keyword in JavaScript is not optional, okay? And when we do this one, can I see here? Gonna be in the global. Okay, perfect. You guys mastered it already, okay? You got me? Okay, be careful, okay? Oh, if you understand, let's do one more time. All of them go to window, right? Okay, perfect. Age, okay. First name, last name, okay, perfect. Good. That means I explained well. Okay. Then if not, let's continue. Okay. First, we already understand what a new keyword doing. Now I will draw the prototype chain to you guys. Okay. Here is using admin. Let me use this one because the diagram when later on when you do, you're gonna use this one. Let's take a look at it here. Prototype construct function prototype chain. Constructor function prototype .js. Okay. In this example, we have a name admin. Okay. Function user, and here have a name property. I will do this dot name equals name, and here have the hard coded this is admin equals true. And now I will have a let John equals new user John. Okay, let's have another one. Let Smith Edward equals new user Edward. Okay, and if I do like this way, what is the prototype chain, which is like this way? Okay, it's gonna be huge. So okay, first let me draw. Okay. I will do this function, okay? When I create this function, right? The prototype chain, you're gonna have 4. Okay, 4. And here,
The new keyword.
no, I only do this line. Okay, I only do this one first, okay? This one, and I'll do one by one because the function declaration is 1, right? 1 piece, okay? I'll do this piece first, okay? Okay, this piece, you're gonna have user. Okay. And the user will have this for all the function. All the function, it will have a property called the prototype. Okay, this is called a property called a prototype, and they do have another thing called the prototype. This one, prototype. Okay, missing. This property is for inheritance. Okay, this one inheritance to somewhere, and this is a property belongs to user, and this property value is an object, which means user dot property. When I use user dot prototype, okay, the value, the type of this one is an object. You understand me? This one is for inheritance. This one is an object. Okay. First you listen to me. Okay. Then I will explain using the code. First I will draw it. Okay. This one will point to an object called the user. I will just repeat it. User.prototype. Okay. Prototype. And since it's an object, it do have another one, which is for inheritance. Do you remember object literal? And it will point to somewhere here. Okay. And what's the parent of user? User is what? User is a function, right? And the parent of this one is called and here we have a prototype. And this one we point here. And this one is the one you already see before. If you don't understand, don't worry, I will explain one by one later, okay? First, we have to be clear. When we talk about inheritance, you always using this thing, okay? You got me? And now the problem is this one, right? This one is what? You have on side. So here, F represent function, okay? For all the function, it has a property. The property name is called a prototype. It's a regular property named prototype in or on function F, okay? This is not the special hidden prototype. We have to differentiate this one and this one, okay? They're different. What's the difference? First, this one have a 2 bracket, right? Second, this one is capital, and this one, all of them are lowercase, okay? F.prototype is an object, and where to use, we will see when we use new, okay? So first, let me show you this one, okay? Suppose we have a user here. I'll do like this one, okay? Oh, I didn't change there. I didn't change the construct function. Can you see here? Take a look at here. I forgot to write one, but we will explain later. This one have pointer here. So here, guys, take a look at. Let me show you a difference, okay? Take a look at. When I console a user, you will see the function, right? Then when I do user.protype, okay, you will see something like this one, have a constructor, see here. You're pointing back to the user, okay? And take a look at the prototype. Prototype is what? Hey, has own property. You remember before break, which one has own property? This one, right? That is making to this one, u.prototype point to here. The reason is because is what thing? Object, okay? See here? User is what? Function. So because user is function, the parent of user is called a function, not a prototype. Because whenever we have a function, right? When we have function, the parent is not directly go to function. It will go to function, not a prototype. Okay. And also because here is an object prototype go to object dot prototype. Okay. And the function dot prototype is also an object type of function dot prototype. You will get a function. Okay. And let me why is a function? This one should be an object. Function dot prototype. Oh, he used the function here. Anyway, here it should be an object, but here it use a function. Let me do one more time. Okay. He just used a function, but we do have the same thing. Okay, like a call, bind, apply those things. Okay. So, but he used the type is a function. Doesn't hurt. Okay. No. I use this one. Next one I want to show you is this one. We will just we will show you after this line doing, okay? We will show you this line. Okay, what's gonna happen? Oh, for before I move forward, which part you have question? Find those here. Okay. Which part you have a question on this diagram?
Properties.
Which
Name and is that mean?
Are you talking about this too?
Yeah.
So-
Come
Okay.
for the
Okay. So the question is what? The question now is when I draw a diagram, these two lines, it seems I didn't do anything, right? You see here, I didn't draw it, right? So think about it. Think about it. If I draw it, where should I put? Put it here? Put it here? I have a name. What's the value should I put it? Undefined. And then I put it is admin. Then later on, if I create John and Edward, should all the objects created for a user have a same name undefined is admin true? Understand me? If I put it here, that means John Edward eventually think has the same thing here. The thing is for the name and John, for the name admin, take a look at our code later. Look, for the John, I should have a name property John, right? For the Edward, I should have Edward. if we put it here or put it here, that means John Edward. No, when I change John, it will automatically change to be Edward. It only keep one copy. So it's admin and name. It not belongs to anywhere here. It's gonna do what? When I do John, you are going to have a name, John. You're gonna have is admin true. Since it's object, we also have a prototype. And here's the difference, okay? Point to here. Different from object create, you don't point to a user, you are point to user prototype. That's why when I create user here, the parent is this one, and the parent of user prototype is object prototype. We don't point to the original user function, okay? And when we create Edward, you will have another Edward somewhere. You will have Edward here. And the same thing, you're gonna have a name, Edward. And have is admin true. And also have a prototype. Okay, prototype here, point to here. And if I put a name here, that means John, Edward all share the same name. Because them and admin is a state, right? And also, if you still don't understand, you can go back to this one. First thing, when I call new user, this will refer to what? This will refer to John because this is new object. It's not belong to user or user prototype. It belongs to the object you hold, the variable you hold that object. Okay. Any question? Say again.
Have the user and the user.prototype objects before creating the John and Edward. So when we create John and Edward, so how does those two objects know there are two parameters available called name and username?
So when we new user, right? It actually do what? It actually knew this constructor. Okay, this constructor will point back to a user. Eventually, we'll get this piece of code executed. When we draw, we don't draw it, okay? Because there's no place we should put it. But we know in the code, when we have user, it has these two statements inside it. Just because when we draw it here, we put a key value pair, which is property belongs to user, property belongs to user prototype, right? And doesn't make sense. I put a name is admin in one of them. Got what I mean? So we don't put it. But when we execute the code, execute new user, it will execute this. It will actually execute the constructor. The constructor will point back to a user. It will get these two lines being executed. But when we draw, where should I put it? We don't put it anywhere. Because the name and the property doesn't belong to the user, doesn't belong to the user prototype. Okay, it belongs to the John and Edward itself.
So the difference between a constructor and animal function is what exactly? The capital letter?
Yes, no, it's how you do it. It's because of new keyword.
So clearly any function is a constructor.
Any function can be a construct function, but not all the construct function. Yes. So here, what it is? Construct function are regular functions. Just the way you call construct function differently. You call use new keyword.
Use new becomes a constructor.
Yes, but if you don't use new, then it's gonna be normal. Okay, normal function. Okay, here we have another one. Okay, this one you might not use very often. So every function has a prototype property by default, which means this one. Every function which is the user, you have a prototype by default. Okay, prototype property by default. Object with a property constructor points back to the function, which is this one I'm talking about, which is, sorry, my bad, which is this line. This line talking about. This one. For u.prototype, all the prototype, it has a constructor pointed back, okay? And when to use it, suppose you have a scenario, you only have the object, you don't have the construct function. Which you have a scenario, okay? The scenario is what? You don't have access to this construct function, right? But you already have this object, got me? You have this object, but you don't have access to this one. And you want to create an object similar to John. Got me? If I have a construct function, I can just a new user, right? But you don't have, and you want to create a similar object like John, then you can do what? You can do similar like this one. Because from a John, you can access what? Is this one? Oh, yes. Constructor, okay, like Edward Jack. From John object, see here, this is my John, right? Does John has a constructor? No, but its parent has. See here, this is my parent. The parent have constructor, right? Constructor eventually will point to this function, right? So you can do like this way. Then I will have a const Edward. Okay, so even though you don't have access to this user, you can still create an object similar to John using this syntax. That is when you probably will directly use this constructor property. Okay, let me just a console log. Okay. Node constructor function. Can I see here? I have a John, which is first name, last name. I have Edward, is Edward Jack. But I didn't using new user, right? I threw the John object construct to get a similar object. This one you want to use very often, just in occasional case, okay. Next one. We can extend the functionality using f.prototype property. Okay, this one is a function.prototype. Here is talking about what? We go back to this one, okay? Now we know if I print the John and Edward, they all have a name. John is admin true, right? For this one, Edward, I'm gonna have Edward, name Edward is admin true, right? Now I want to have what thing? I want to have a method called print name, okay, or get name, okay. So how can I do? I want for John and Edward both has a method called get name, return name. One way you can do is do what? Name, right? And when we do this line, gonna happen what? Let me put it here, okay? Because this is not a good way. Okay, take a look at carefully. Okay, this one, I will make it pretty quick, okay? Wait me for a second. I will copy this part, okay? Put it here. And make it smaller. Oh. I should draw it, it's easier. Okay, so here, again, when we draw the diagram for function user, we don't draw anything inside it, okay? For this keyword, or if you have statement, we don't draw it because that's not in my properties, okay? And now I'm going to do like this one, okay? To do this line. I will do this line. What kind of properties for John has? Name is John, right? Is admin. True. What else? Get name. Okay, function, right? And we do have another one. Prototype, okay. I'll just do like this way, okay? You understand me? Go to here, right? And second one, same thing. We'll have Edward. Okay, Edward. We'll have name. You almost there. We'll finish this one, then we do wait for meditation, okay? The remaining we leave to afternoon, okay? But we are almost done. The name, function, and prototype. This one, right? So, oh, which part do you think doesn't make not good? As when we program, normally we would share the function, and for the state, we should be unique, right? Why? Because the functions, the state for John, for Edward, the state is like the name and admin should be different because each person have a different name, right? But for the behavior, get a name, this is a behavior, and behavior, see, for this piece of code, it's kind of like a duplicate here, right? Because that's a function, okay? You got me? And you got it? Get a name is a function, right? If I put in duplicate here, does it do anything different? Because return name, this is gonna return John, this is gonna return Edward, okay? So where is a common place? Where is a common place? If I put there, they all share, they all can also get a name. Parent, right? So you think about it. If I put a get name here, and later on I call John get a name, I don't have, I can go to my parent have, right? So if I don't have here, I put the get name in this place, use the prototype. So later on I call John get a name. I don't have, I'll go to my parent. It still work, right? If I call Edward, I can still work, right? And in this case, I only keep one copy. It's not kept in every object. You got it?
Yeah.
If it kept in every object, it's duplicated, not necessary. And your memory got, you use more memory, right?
Yes.
And if I put it here, it more makes sense. So a better way to share the methods, we don't do like this way. Even it works, okay? What do we do? User dot prototype dot get name. Return this dot name. You got me? And later on, you can do John dot get name, okay? And Edward dot get name. You will get different name. Structure. Oh yeah, yes. Sorry. Yeah, construct function. Dot prototype dot js. Okay. Doesn't have. Node. No. .js. Okay. I forgot to print. How about console log? Okay. He's not here. He's late today. He's late. Okay. You have John Edward, right? Now take a look at when I execute John get a name. It doesn't have. I go to my prototype. Here we go. Oh, this dot name. This is referred to what? John. Always refer to the object before the dot. Okay. So that's why we got a John. And when we call get a name again, even though we execute the same code, right? But this keyword is referred to Edward now. You got it? So that's all the things in prototype. That's why take a look at here. Here, when we do function, we always refer to function prototype. Do you remember when we use dot bind, dot call? That's on a function, right? Why we have a apply and bind? Because you for all the function, the parent is the functional prototype, and those bind call apply is on there. Okay. Any more question you have? On extend function on this prototype, you do the extension all here, okay? Okay, if not, let's have let's do this one. He's still not here. I'll finish, okay. So here is the difference between the function, construct function and object literal. When we do object literal, the value you give on the create, that's your parent. There's no something dot prototype, okay? Something dot prototype only exists for function, which is this one. U dot prototype only exists for function. The object literal doesn't have that one, okay? So here, when I have user will have a prototype property, only function, okay? When you use a new user, all of them will inherit from U dot prototype. So if you put something in the U dot prototype, it can be shared. Oh, Rod is here. Okay, we are waiting for you. We stop here, and for the remaining, we come back this afternoon. Okay,
Hey, everybody.
we're ready.
Hey, could you put your cell phones on airplane mode, please? Close your computers. Thank you, thank you. How are you, Professor?
Good, good.
Good.
We have some students online, so I just
We got student online?
yes.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Now let me turn on the
Yes.
camera. One guy, one girl online.
Greetings.
Okay.
Okay, computer screens are closed, almost. All right,
How about the lights?
don't you just love these lights? Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna start step by step. First, let's sit comfortably and close our eyes. Let's open our eyes. Again, let's close our eyes.